tryna see no paper, you can see the door. I be Palm Angel with the babe, Louis and Dior. Went to the doctor office, coughing up a storm, I just scored a 4. How you post 40 on the gram, but can't show me 4? Got in my bag, now I'm swerving lane to lane, 911.
Beyond the fame. Philly niggas really like that.
Philadelphia police have arrested 3 suspects in connection with a mass shooting on Tuesday. Nearly 100 rounds were fired, injuring 5 people. Officials say a 16-year-old boy and a 21-year-old man were shot in the head and are currently in extremely critical condition. Lillian Chiano has the latest from Philadelphia.
Shots? By the number of rounds that were taken off the sidewalk, there's no purpose for any of those guns other than to kill human beings.
Guns have been used to kill 308 people in Philadelphia so far this year. More than 1,400 people have been shot in the city. That number of gunshot victims surpasses even bigger cities like New York and Los Angeles.
At the event, she told me his face is going A-whack. That shit out of pocket. I just ran into ops with these back to back, and both of them niggas was cops. If I wanna hit, then I'm getting up close to shit, so you know ain't nobody surviving.
514. That's how many people were killed in Philadelphia in 2022. There were more than 2,200 gunshot victims. In 2022, we put faces with those numbers. They're not just stats, they're someone's family. We wanted to concentrate on where this is happening. Matt Petrillo was outside police headquarters tonight. He takes you through the areas most heavily impacted by this gun crisis. Matt?
Yeah, Yuki, we found many shootings were concentrated in just a few neighborhoods in Philadelphia, leaving behind a toll of trauma for those living in those areas.
These niggas got Call of Duty.
We don't shake hands. This is not a friendly town.
Why don't you shake hands?
This is Philadelphia. Last year they was known as Kill-a-Delphia.
Why is there so much crime and gun violence here?
Oh my God. I don't even know for real. I couldn't even tell you.
On Thursday, July 20th of 2023, a mass shooting took place in Philadelphia, in the 5800 block of Masher Street in the Olney section of the city. Murder and violence had become routine in certain areas of Philadelphia, and shootings with multiple victims wasn't uncommon. A 31-year-old man was shot in his hip, but he survived. A 21-year-old man was shot twice in his legs, but he survived his injuries as well. A 25-year-old man would be struck in his back, and according to witnesses, as soon as he was shot, he took off running about a block away until he finally collapsed. He would later be pronounced dead at the hospital. This would ultimately become a high-profile case in Philadelphia because of who was involved. His name was Devin Spady, also known as YNG Cheese, son of well-respected Philadelphia rapper Gilly the Kid, who was once a part of the Major Figures and most known for his time on Cash Money Records with Birdman and Lil Wayne. He later created a successful podcast called $1 Million Worth of Game with his cousin Wallow. They were known to talk to the youth about positivity and staying away from the street life and avoiding the traps that come along with it. So people wondered, how could Gilly's own son fall victim to the very same streets that they spoke out against?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Philadelphia police, they are investigating a deadly shooting in Olney that left 1 person dead and 2 others hospitalized. And this morning, a source close to the family tells us that it is the son of rapper and podcaster Gilly the King. It's his oldest son.
And Philadelphia police confirming 25-year-old Devin Spady was killed in that shooting right here. And of course, that has many fans stunned by the news. Close family friends are saying that Spady was the son of Gilly the King. And Gilly, his podcast co-host Wallow, confirming Gilly's son, a rapper known as YNG Cheese, was killed in an Instagram post last night.
YNG Cheese was born on April 6 of 1998 in North Philadelphia. He stated that he started getting in trouble at an early age, but he always had hoop dreams and felt like basketball could be the thing to uplift him and his family out of the hoods of Philly. But he couldn't stay on track in school and was eventually kicked off the basketball team. He tried to go legit and got a job working at Walgreens, but that only lasted for a few months. And soon he was back in the streets of North Philly hustling until he got locked up on drug charges. And that's when he realized it was time to make a change in his life. And he was gonna do it by taking the same path as his dad and becoming a rapper. Cheese would spend countless hours in the studio with his dad as a kid, watching him perfect his craft. So rapping was in his blood. He had been doing it since he was 9 years old as a hobby, but now he wanted to do it as a career. He realized that it was nothing but trouble waiting for him in the streets, and he witnessed his own father barely make it out. In the summer of 2006, Gilly was shot 3 times in an attempted robbery. And in the following year of 2007, Gilly and his associates were arrested on drug charges after 2 stash houses were raided in the Oxford section of the city and 100 pounds of marijuana was discovered.
Damn. These niggas' trap game is insane. 100
I was
pounds?
somewhere I ain't need to be. Well, really, I can't say I ain't need to be, but I was in a hood that wasn't mine. But here in Philly, we call it a Rican knot. I had a goddamn Juan Rodriguez knot on me, you hear me? And a nigga tried to test me. And it is what it is, you know what I mean? Even the best of us,
I ain't know Gilly was
the
like
best
that.
of us
I
get
never-
tagged
I ain't
once in a
really
while.
looked into his
You know what I
backstory.
mean?
I ain't know it was like that.
Wasn't about nothing, man. You know what I mean? God had me.
Everyone involved with the case kept quiet and nobody talked to law enforcement, and ultimately the charges would be dismissed. Gilly was one of the lucky ones. He was able to transition out of the streets and make a lucrative career for himself making legal money. Cheese wanted to do the same, but he didn't want to lean on his dad's connections in order to make it. He wanted to stand on his own 2 feet and truly be self-made. In 2019, he released his debut album, Born a Star. Then he started making music with his brother Mac, and they created a group called Mac and Cheese. They released a single called Ignore, which also started to get them some recognition as well. YNG Cheese knew that he had what it took to make it in the music world, but he also knew that if he wanted to reach the heights that he was destined for, he would have to leave Philadelphia in order to do it. He spoke about it in an interview, saying that he loved this city, but he also knew that there was a lot of hate there in the streets, especially for rappers. He hired armed security for when him and his guys were moving around the city, so nobody would have to catch an unnecessary gun charge or possibly even a body. He stated that he knew he had to move smarter because he had a 1-year-old son, and he wanted to make sure that he was there for him and that he didn't have to grow up without a dad like so many other kids in Philadelphia.
That's real.
What's in Philly? I guess we make it. I don't know.
Yeah, we make it. Yeah, definitely. But
we make it. It depends who you is. Like for niggas like me, like rappers, motherfuckers that, you know, it's a lot of hate, a lot of shit going on, so. Right. I don't even put myself in them. Shit get tricky out here. But you gotta move smart. Like we the type people, I don't put my homies in risk, get locked up, get killed, none of that. We move around with security. Can't be too cute, we protect our lives. Facts. Why not have 5 niggas with guns that can legally, you feel me? Yeah. Instead of risking your homies getting locked up, some shit happening.
Unfortunately, Cheese would never reach his dreams of stardom. After being gunned down on a summer night in Philadelphia, his father, Gilly the Kid, opened up about how losing Cheese affected their family and how it changed him forever.
Cause I'm like, I'm gonna leave, and they gonna have to tell him in the hospital. Cause so I walk out, Gil come out, and he like, "Cuz, what's up, cuz? What's going on? What's up?" Cause he peeped me, put my head down. That was the worst thing I ever told anybody. And I was like, man, geez, go on.
And how you feel about life today? How I feel about life today, just to be honest with you, bro, it's difficult. You know, I just lost my son. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know, I appreciate that. I struggle every day. You know what I mean? My son was a year older than you. You know what I'm saying? So I struggle every day. You know, when I wake up, that's the first thing I think about. You know what I'm saying? So, but I also know that I gotta be strong for my family.
But despite Cheese's murder being highly publicized and talked about on multiple major news outlets, law enforcement still had no leads in solving the case. There were internet rumors that Gilly's past in the streets had something to do with his son's death, and since they couldn't get to him, they went after Cheese instead. But those rumors would be proven false after social media posts, as well as music, began to circulate of an individual seemingly taking credit for YNG Cheese's murder. He was going by the name of Jokerotv and hid his identity behind a Joker mask from the 2008 film The Dark Knight, with the Joker being portrayed by actor Heath Ledger. There was talk in the streets that Cheese's murder was retaliation for a shooting that happened just 3 weeks prior. At around 9:30 p.m. on May 29th of 2023, there was a quadruple shooting in the Frankfurt neighborhood. A 66-year-old man named Ivan Hall would be shot and killed, and 3 15-year-old teenagers would be wounded, but they all survived. One of those teens was named Noah Scurry, a star basketball player at Samuel Fells High School. According to staff members who worked at the school, he was well-mannered, very respectful, and beloved by teachers and students alike. He was a straight-A student who scored the highest SAT scores in the entire school. He received scholarship offers from multiple D1 schools from across the country. His road to success was right in front of him. He just needed to walk the path. He was seen as a great kid by those who knew him and seemed to be an all-American boy by day. But when the night fell, he turned into his alter ego, Jokerotv, terrorizing his ops with switches. Despite having basketball opportunities that could take him far away from North Philly, he still chose the streets and would become one of the deadliest shooters in his gang. Double C's, Certified Clappers Parkside. They're known to be for the crew called M24, as well as their affiliates named Fast Break, a group of young, wild shooters who are known for being very reckless and extremely deadly. The two gangs have been waging war against each other in Northeast Philly for years, with multiple bodies dropping on both sides. Jokerotv and the Certified Clappers took full responsibility for the shooting that killed YNG Cheese, as well as other members of M24 that they claim to have killed, like Twin 5, who allegedly shot somebody in the leg who was down with Parkside, and in return, he would be murdered in March of 2021.
Damn.
Go around the wheel and put one in his head. I ain't gonna lie, them niggas hit me in my leg. So I'm spinning every day until them niggas dead.
The shooting death of Twin 5 would be followed by another murder of an alleged M24 member named A. John Jackson, also known as AJ, who was shot to death after returning home from his shift at McDonald's with his twin sister. His family stated that he had nothing to do with the streets and that he was a normal high school kid with a job, but according to his ops, he was a target, and a member of the Certified Clappers named Hardy would mention him and Twin 5 on a song called On How that would go on to get over 1 million views on YouTube.
All I have in this world is my balls and my word. Selling ranches, catch them bodies, then we swap. Steady screaming, get back, but ain't get back. So how y'all factors? We them niggas in the city known for clapping.
Bobbing it then. What's the low? I already got the V. It's a go. What's the question? They didn't get back full of AJ. That's a no.
The back and forth shootings would lead to the murder of 20-year-old Christopher Dowling, who was shot to death on February 15th of 2024 on the 5800 block of Rising Sun Avenue. A member of M24 named One Brody would immediately take to social media and report what just happened, dissing Christopher Dowling and the Certified Clappers. This would lead to the revenge killing of an alleged affiliate of the Fast Break gang, 17-year-old Damon Taylor, also known as Fat Dame. On March 5th, 2024 at about 3:45 p.m., a group of teenagers were standing at a bus stop in the Ogans neighborhood when two masked teenagers approached with weapons and opened fire on the crowd. But it seems like they had one target in particular, Damon Taylor. There were over 50 shots fired, and he was hit over 20 times. 4 other people were shot as well.
God damn, what did this nigga do? This nigga got shot 20 times? God damn. Nigga must have been extorting everybody.
Teenagers and 2 women who were on the bus, but they all survived. Damon's family believed that it must have been a case of mistaken identity because he didn't have any ties to the streets. He was beloved in the community and everyone said he was a good kid, but law enforcement believed that it was a targeted hit. And Jokerotv would constantly mention Fat Dame on social media and in his music. In one of his videos, he would use a clip that surfaced online of shocked onlookers in the aftermath of Fat Dame's murder, with a girl being heard screaming out, "His face is gone."
So, he wasn't a street nigga. But Jokerotv killed him.
How about come catch you a body? Catch a nigga out on the floor and I like my door was the bet. I hop out frying. Niggas can't talk about Chris if he ain't gonna talk about how fat damn soul left nigga body.
His nephews set it off. The emotion sum up his family's heartache after the sudden death of who they described was an energetic and loving teen. Several other people were injured, including 2 other students. Police say Taylor was targeted in the shooting, but his family says that was not the case.
Every black person get killed, somebody targeted, you know, so no.
In the city.
So my question to the city is, what are we going to do? Like, we keep talking about crime prevention.
What you mean?
But what are we doing?
Let's talk about the ops. They talking about switches and drinks and don't even got them. I'm at the event, she talking about his face is going A-whack. That shit out of pocket. This
His face is going.
Oh.
According to Philadelphia city officials, there's a trend growing among the new generation of gang members called clout murders. Not murders because your gang is going to war or any type of personal vendetta. It's simply killing a high-profile individual for respect and recognition in the streets. Because if you could be the one that caught that body, you could get praise and adulation from your gang. It's been called Generation Crash Out, and one of Philadelphia's most well-known up-and-coming rappers would become a victim to it. 25-year-old Abdul Vix, aka YBC Duel. He went by the name of Mr. Disrespectful as well, and was a part of the Young Bag Chasers gang. He was extremely vicious to his enemies on social media and in his music. He would post videos of himself digging up his rivals' graves. He would also make fun of the grieving parents of people that his gang allegedly killed. Throughout 2024, he would do multiple interviews dissing all of his ops in Philadelphia. Most famously, a viral interview with Adam 22 on No Jumper. People in the comment section and online would tell YBC Duel that this was a bad move, and that it was only a matter of time before one of his ops caught up to him. But he would continue to taunt the other side. He would do another viral interview with the Branding Buckingham YouTube channel. But being highly visible in the streets in a city full of enemies was a bad combination for YBC Duel. Because on August 23rd, 2024 at about 3:30 p.m. on the 5500 block of South 6th Street, YBC Duel and a friend was driving along when a white SUV pulled up next to him and started firing multiple shots. YBC Duel's friend was hit multiple times, but he was able to survive his injuries. YBC Duel was hit in the hand and in the chest, but he would later succumb to his wounds. Most people didn't view his tragic end as shocking due to the extreme disrespect that he showed online for his opposition. It simply looked like one of his rivals finally caught up to him, and that was the end of the story. But as new details emerged, it was later discovered that 25-year-old YBC Duel was murdered by 16-year-old Aiden Waters. It's said that he was a member of the Fast Break gang affiliated with M24. Law enforcement would later reveal that 16-year-old Aiden Waters had been on a crime spree, and during a 5-day stretch in August of 2024, he caught 8 attempted murder charges and 2 murders. Aiden Waters has similarities to Noah Scurry, because he was also a star athlete with all the opportunity in the world in front of him, but ultimately would choose the streets. He was once featured in ESPN as a star track athlete, but at some point his life took a turn towards violence, and he became obsessed with street clout. The Olney District Attorney would hold a press conference at a basketball court speaking about these types of murders. Many people said they had it at a basketball court because they were trying to send a message to the Fast Break gang.
I can't really keep like walking around and shit all down here though. I'm telling y'all, I'm flaming hot, and I'm Mr. Disrespectful. They gonna do something to me.
Yeah, we don't want that at all, bro.
I can't afford that. Shit, I got some shit to say too though. All ops, CCK, LMG, 56th Street, Belmont. Y'all never got back. No, 44 CB taming y'all. Look, 38th Street. 39th Street. I ain't even gonna lie. Fuck the Dub too. And who else? I ain't gonna lie. There's many more. Fuck Collar Hill, Parkside.
In a light rain near a basketball court in Olney, DA Larry Krasner reports he's charged. A 16-year-old with the killing of 2 and the wounding of others is part of a shooting group known as Fast Break.
The small group of young people in the city of Philadelphia made a decision
to hold a gun, to point a gun
at
another human being and pull the trigger.
It's called clout chasing, is what we call it.
Yeah, they clout chasing.
Everyone calls it, I guess. You're looking for notoriety. You're looking to make a name for yourself.
Life not real.
Prosecutors say the guns used in the killings were illegal, and one had a switch installed, allowing for multiple shots with one squeeze of the trigger. Prosecutors are urging parents to search their children's rooms for guns.
After the brutal bus stop murder of alleged Fast Break affiliate Damon Taylor, the Fast Break gang came right back sliding in his name, because the very next day on March 6 at about 3 p.m., a group of teenagers were standing at a bus stop in the Burholm neighborhood when a dark blue vehicle pulled up and a group of masked men got out shooting. It said that up to 30 shots were fired and 8 teens would be hit. Luckily, they all had non-life-threatening injuries and nobody died, but the case was still major news in Philadelphia and beyond.
These Philly niggas tripping. Sound like World War III and out that motherfucker.
The sound of gunshots at a SEPTA bus stop. New surveillance video tonight of the dramatic moments that sent teenagers running for their lives.
Now, this is where those 3 suspects pulled up before jumping out of a car and firing more than 30 shots at teenagers and then running. Now, police say one of those 8 teens is in critical condition this morning. And then police say as the bus pulls up, the suspects get out and start shooting at the students as they're boarding more than 30 times. Now, 8 students were shot, police say, from the ages of 15 to 17. A 16-year-old boy was hit 9 times, and he is in critical condition this morning.
9 times?
19-year-old Jamal Tucker, also known as Molly, was the first person arrested in connection with this incident and later gave up everyone involved in the SEPTA bus stop shooting. In particular, 18-year-old Anil Buggs, who was involved in the SEPTA person arrested in connection with this incident and later gave up everyone involved in the SEPTA bus stop shooting. In particular, 18-year-old Anil Buggs, who was accused in the SEPTA bus stop shooting that wounded 8 people, but also the murder of 20-year-old Christopher Dowling in early 2024. Another member of Fast Break that would also be pointed out was LR, or Little Ryan. Jokerotv would mention this situation in his song, how Fast Break tried to slide but didn't kill anybody, and everybody ended up getting locked up behind it. He even called out Lil Ryan by name.
And Molly telling on them bodies like, damn, free Lil Ryan. We the reason why they throwing 5s and then they end up dying. They keep asking, why you couldn't get up? I mean, he wasn't trying.
Jamal Tucker turned himself into police Friday night after he learned detectives went to his home earlier that day with a warrant to get him. Sources tell me he then instantly began cooperating, leading police to get a warrant and help from the U.S. Marshals, who then found suspect number 2, Anil Buggs, nabbed here in the 900 block of North 42nd Street.
Oh, he loafing in his phone, watch how I creep behind him. Bitch, don't ask me about no Fast Break, them niggas not nobody.
Jokerotv was known for saying that he had 5 bodies, but on his most recent song he said that you would need to add another hand in order to count up how many he had, insinuating that that number was now up to 6, but only 4 could be confirmed. YNG Cheese, Fat Dame, an 18-year-old named Tim Milley, and a 17-year-old girl named Isia Stanley, who was shot and killed at Fairmount Park in June of 2024, right after graduating high school.
Like, that shit not cool points, and he gonna claim that shit. Like, what's wrong with, bro? Yeah.
Still no arrests after a shooting in Fairmount Park Friday night that left a 17-year-old girl dead and 4 other teens hurt. Now the parents of the young woman shot and killed are remembering their beloved daughter.
Ila Stanley, affectionately known as Cece, a young woman her father says had a bright future as an entrepreneur.
My daughter was a beautiful soul, man. Like, and she lit up the room. You know what I mean? Y'all snatched that away from us, man.
Police say Cece was shot and killed after pop-up parties started at 33rd and Ridge Avenue Friday night, then spilled over into Fairmount Park. 4 other teens ranging from 14 to 18 years old were also shot and injured.
According to family members, mentors, teachers, and everyone else involved in Noah Scurry's life, They claimed that there was absolutely nothing to suggest that he had any involvement in the streets, let alone spending his nights out stalking his ops wearing a Joker mask. But there is evidence to suggest that they may have at least had somewhat of an idea of Noah's extracurricular activities in the streets, because during summer practice, Noah's team was scheduled to scrimmage against Jokerotv High School, the same school that Damon Taylor attended, the team that Jokerotv claimed to have killed. Word got around that there were people planning to shoot Noah after the scrimmage, but he was able to escape. This would cause Noah to have to skip his in-season game against Jokerotv as well, due to safety concerns. They even posted online that there would be no students allowed at the game, and that it would be family members only. Without their star player, Samuel Fells was blown out by Jokerotv, but in the meantime, Jokerotv was in the studio cooking up new music with allies of certified clappers. It said that they clicked up with Pentown and Zoo Gang, who was in an ongoing war with a crew called Blumberg, who was clicked up with M24. Jokerotv made a song with a member of Pentown/Zoo Gang called Swing My Door. It will go on to get over 650,000 views on YouTube.
I know this song.
But more spotlight meant more attention, even unwanted attention from the ops. But only 24 hours after releasing this song with Drench Season, Jokerotv would meet the same fate that he laughed at so many others about in his music. On Tuesday, January 14th, 2025, Jokerotv was Noah, doing what most teenagers would be doing on a weekday in January, getting ready for school. Just like any other morning, his mom was gonna be dropping him off at Samuel Fells. But this morning was different, and there was 2 gunmen waiting in the shadows. And as Noah opened the door to get into the car with his mom, they opened fire. It said that it was up to 60 shots, and Noah was hit approximately 30 times. Pictures would surface on the internet of his mother laying on his body crying, in an extremely sad scene.
They drenched this nigga 30 times?
Teenager is gunned down in an alleyway behind his home. Noah Scurry is being remembered for his performance both in the classroom and on the basketball court.
Investigators say they do not know the motive and no suspects have been named. This is video of Noah Scurry doing what he loved, playing basketball for Fells High School. But district officials say he was much more than just a star athlete.
The student who was killed was exceptional. He scored remarkably high on his SATs. The star basketball player on the team here.
Investigators say it was right around 7:15 this morning as Noah was getting on his way to school when he was shot repeatedly outside of his house on the 50-100 block of Roar Street.
In the wake of OTV Joker's death, there was a lot of speculation about who was responsible. Some people even pointed to a TikTok video that he posted shortly before his death, saying that he recorded it at his home, and this is what gave his rivals the drop on him. There was also rumors that it was because of an internal beef with the Double C's, saying that Joker had a falling out with certain members of Certified Clappers due to the fact that he was getting too close to other gangs, and this made some of his guys switch up on him and drop his location to his ops. But both of these theories would be debunked, and the truth would be revealed, and it would be shown on Instagram. When the cousin of YNG Cheese and the nephew of Gilly started to make a flurry of posts on IG, just hours after Jokerotv's death, he was posting things like "just know that they did it first," as well as a caption that said "get your rest, Cheese, that boy gas now." He even posted song lyrics from the Lil Durk song Intro, where he raps "the one who killed my blood laying in blood, I can rest now." Noah's other ops would also celebrate his death, as well as making diss songs about his Joker alter ego.
See the one that killed my blood, laying in blood, I can rest.
Did what Batman couldn't do and that's put the Joker down. Baby Joker, that's what the jokes is over now. He got flame, bullets is burning his wings, he forever gonna be in hell. I'm scared to go back to the 9 and smoking, I think I'm gonna hear him yell.
Only a few days after Noah's death, new evidence would begin to surface. Surveillance footage would show a white SUV creeping in the alley where Noah was ultimately murdered. The police would track down that SUV and put it in the impound, and they would also arrest their first suspect in Noah's murder. He went by the name of C-Baby, the relative of Gilly and YNG Cheese, who made those Instagram posts shortly after Jokerotv's murder.
Of course it was him. Dumbass nigga gonna post it, bro.
Breaking right now, chilling video just obtained by CBS News Philadelphia showing the exact moment a gunman ambushes a local teenager on his way to school right in front of his frantic mother.
Breaking details on the homicide investigation of 17-year-old Noah Scurry. He's the star student athlete gunned down outside his home in front of his mother while getting ready to head to Samuel Fells High School. And that's where our Kelly Rule is live for us tonight. Kelly, what are you learning?
Well, Sheba, police say they are looking for at least 2 people for this homicide, possibly a third, and they believe they do have the vehicle that was used in the crime. But tonight, law enforcement sources are telling me they believe Noah Scurry appeared in a rap video with guns that was posted to social media the day before he was killed.
It's believed that Noah's murder was in retaliation for the July 2023 murder of YNG Cheese. In a cycle of never-ending violence, Noah Scurry had the perfect opportunity to achieve greatness, but he got caught up in the street life. And when you choose that path, there's only 2 endings to the story, either prison or death. And unfortunately, Noah was a victim of the latter. Another black teen lost to the intoxicating influence of drill culture. On the internet and in the streets of Philadelphia, it seems to be common knowledge that Jokerotv was the one responsible for killing YNG Cheese. But according to the Philadelphia Police Department, the case still remains unsolved to this day, and the gang wars of Philadelphia continue on.